Hey, what's up, everyone? MarkKing here, and this is another one of these stories where it's just like, why? So the headline is this is from National File. It's by Lionel Duquesne or Ducan. Okay, France pro-migrant activist reportedly murdered by Afghan migrant he housed. And the subheadline is President of Pro-Migrant Association killed young Afghan migrant in custody. Okay, so we see these things time and time again, right? And the thing is, right? Look, I know we're all tempted to make fun of these things, and it's just, but again, these people, again, they're very ignorant, right? Ignorance is a tool of the communists, right? I'll say these things over and over and over because it's all true. And sometimes I even forget things in my head, so it's good to repeat things, right? Also, it keeps your memory in focus a bit. But, looks like a decent guy. He just, it's cognitive dissonance. I mean, why put yourself in jeopardy with these people? It doesn't make sense. The only people you should try to take care of is really your family and maybe your friends. Maybe your friends, okay? Good friends. But again, you're tempted to make fun of these things, but in reality, it's a guy trying to do good. He just, he doesn't look like a dumb guy either. He looks like he has all the features of a smart man. Let's just get into it. I read this. The president of the Pro-Migrant Association that delivered assistance to the homeless was found murdered in his home in Bretteville, in Saya, east of Charlebourg, in Contentin, Manche, like I know how to pronounce those things, according to ACTU. Retired teacher and former director of Gonville School, Jean Duchesne, 63, was president itinerants, a group that helped vulnerable migrants. Duchesne was found dead this morning at his home, believed to be beaten with an iron rod in his sleeve. My goodness. What really hurts is like these, okay, so one of the things, I'll keep saying, one of the things about communism is the people who push it in the media tend not to believe it. At the very top, at least, they don't believe it. Then the lower tier people that aren't very talented, so they tend not to have their own opinions. They literally read from a teleprompter, or they just repeat opinions from their what's a good word, from their in group. Okay, this is why feminism is again is dangerous and is a tool of the communists. Okay, they tend not to think themselves and just repeat what other people say. Okay, all right. So migrants who Duquesne was housing sounded the alarm when they found the educated dead body. So apparently some migrants were there. They found the body because one migrant killed a poor man. Since the brutal murder, a young 20-year-old Afghan migrant who Duquesne was housing has been arrested and placed under police custody. It's reported that the migrant in custody cannot speak French. Again, one of the things that should be every country to just protect your, again, if you don't have a common language, you probably have nothing in common. You need a common tongue, okay? You really need a common tongue. And growing up in the United States, right, I was taught that I have to learn Spanish because United States is becoming a Spanish-speaking country. In reality, the people who come here should learn English, okay? And that's the truth. You can't. You basically splitting your cohesive unit by not having a common tongue. Okay, this should be mandatory, right? And believe me, learning a new language is hard. Okay, I've tried to learn Spanish. Must have spent like 3-4 years trying to learn Spanish, and it's just not sinking in. I'm still trying right now, by the way, since I have so much free time. I'm still trying. But it's hard to know every little detail. Unfortunately. Anyway, detectives and criminologists are reportedly at the scene of the crime, processing the former teacher's home for evidence. According to Valus Actualis, it was reported that Duquesne was sleeping when the alleged an Afghan illegal immigrant. Sorry, I'm saying these wrong things now. Barely 20 years old attacked him. Again, look. Now, how about we just invite women without kids into the country, okay? I bet there'll be a lot of protests from the left wing groups then. Okay. And what happens when you again? What happens when you allow all these young men in the country? There'll be an imbalance of women to men, and unfortunately, the native women tend not to want these foreign men because they're usually less skilled. I'm going to say this: less attractive than the native population. Just the way it goes. When you inbreed, these things happen. Yeah. Anyway, investigators are working to finding the murder for a violent murder. Finding a murder. Are still working on finding a murder for the violent murder of the philanthropist. I'm not sure what it's saying. Maybe trying to find the reason. Maybe that's what because. Anyway, sadly, a similar story took place last year when promising medical student and pro-migrant activist, also from Normandy, was stabbed to death by a migrant she was reportedly housing. This goes into detail into that. What's funny, right? So the KGB communists, right? They went into like African countries, right? And this is I think this was like their first real interaction with Africans, right? So they would give Africans guns, and what happened was Africans are kind of reckless, and what they found is that the Africans were killing everybody around them, including the KGB agents. Believe it or not, again, there is something to genetics here. Okay, this is what I truly believe. Again, it could be inbreeding also. Okay. And these are things that, it should be okay to talk about, but as we know, it's not. It can help explain a lot. That's the thing. Anyway, I'll leave that here. And it's something that I shouldn't really laugh at because, it's just like, it's somebody who's actually trying to do good, but unfortunately, he's a useful tool of terrible people. Okay, he's just a useful tool. An ignorant tool. Okay, this is what communism thrives on: ignorant people. All right, but in a way, it's very sad. It should have never happened, and it's a guy who's trying to be good, and it's just failed. Anyway, take care, share, save, subscribe, thumbs up. Hope you enjoy. Hope you took something away educational, something fun, something interesting. Okay, all right. Be safe. Bye.